Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working through a gentle yoga practice for your periods. So if you're experiencing lots of cramping or pain, low back or hip aggravation, or just in general just not feeling your greatest, this is a great class to just relax, breathe, work through some of the stuff that's going on emotionally, mentally, hormonally, physically as well in the body. So it's a nice slow practice. We're going to be doing really simple, easy beginner poses and no inversions today, or no standing poses of any kind. Just because it's really important when you are experiencing your heavier flow days that you do more chill practice, more relaxed practice, and that we avoid anything that's inverting the pelvis above the heart. So if you're looking for a wonderful class to just feel your best and support yourself during your menstrual cycle, then get ready, grab your mat, get some water, and let's start today's practice. And of course, be sure to like this video, subscribe down below if you aren't already subscribed, and be sure to follow me over on Instagram, you guys, so you don't miss any upcoming classes that are hitting YouTube for you. All right, so settling in to the space on our mat. So finding a nice, quiet space that you can kind of just have some time for yourself. So bringing the knees together, and we're just gonna slide the hands forward, coming into our child's pose. So you might just stay here supporting yourself with the forearms, maybe resting the forehead down, or you can reach the forehead all the way to the mat. So just settling here into our child's pose. Finding a couple breaths to set some intention for today's practice. Perhaps you're coming here to just breathe and find some relief in the body, maybe to calm down any pain or stress. So just settling in, finding your breath, feeling that connection of the forehead onto the arms or the mat. And just breathing here, setting that intention. Feeling the pressure of the belly pressing into the legs. Really wonderful to have pressure onto our belly, especially if we're cramping. Finding one last breath. Breathe in your deepest breath. And exhale out. Starting to gently bring yourself back up. We'll slide ourselves into a tabletop position. So stacking nicely in our table, spread nice and wide through the palms, gripping into the mat with the fingertips, and just starting to find some sways of the hips back and forth. So perhaps just closing the eyes here and just finding some movement, some sways back and forth. Maybe you want to go forward and back, maybe finding some circle movements, circling to the right or the left. So we're just tuning into what our body needs here. Find those gentle movements, close the eyes, and just breathe on every inhale and every exhale. Just exploring, seeing where you can release some tension out of the hips or the pelvis. Just allowing that pain to dissolve away. Maybe you're feeling quite emotional today. It's all just part of our cycle, being a woman. Switch directions if you haven't already, maybe swaying the other way. Maybe just finding those rocks, or maybe just staying here in stillness. Maybe that feels good. Maybe you just need to be still. Let that breath be big, loud, doesn't matter. Just let it out, let it flow. And once you feel even on those movements, just come back to a neutral table. Stacking here again, And we'll find some movements through our cat and cow. So as we drop our belly, flip our bum, lifting the gaze open through the chest. And as we exhale, round through the spines, press that spine to the sky, hollow out the belly, tuck the tailbone. And inhale back forward through our cow. Exhale to cat. So moving on the breath, nice and slow, take your time. So really feeling each vertebrae here. Just noticing where there's some tension, seeing how the spine feels. Getting lots of space between each vertebrae. So it's moving on every inhale. Make them big, make them really juicy here. We're just getting all of that breath work in, feeling the body. Find 2 more rounds. Letting go of any expectation or pressure of yourself to move today. Just being here, knowing that being here is enough. And on your last round, come back to neutral. We'll just sit back onto our feet, come off the wrists, just give them a shake out. Release them, we'll get the jangles for you today, jingle jangles. Let's interlace the palms and just press them out away from you, just stretching out our wrists. Find a breath in and exhale. Let's sweep those hands, press them up above, reaching towards the sky. So really opening and pressing through the shoulders here. And exhale, release them back in front, full body forward, come back into your child's pose. Stretching those arms forward, that forehead can come down if you like. So we're just finding a nice big stretch into our shoulders here. Just getting a nice big relief into the chest, the shoulders. We tend to round quite a bit through the upper body when we're in pain, especially if we're cramping. We start to round forward in pain, protecting our space. So just find a nice big stretch. Let's walk those hands over towards the left side of your mat. So stretching out, staying in your child's pose. So if you need to widen the knees at all, you can do that too if you need to create a little bit more space for the belly. So reaching to the left, gazes towards the mat. Just like that, get that big stretch in through the right side. If you're looking for a deeper stretch here, you can even cross that right hand on top of the left, finding a deeper stretch into the shoulder. Letting go of tension through the jaw, the face. And on your exhale, let's walk our hands back to center, reach forward again, maybe finding a little bit more of a deepening here now that we're starting to open up through the side. And then let's walk over the hands to the right side, finding the opposite stretch. So again, we're just letting the belly fall, letting the chest fall towards the mat, gaze falls forward. The forehead can even come down if that's accessible. It's a nice stretch here into the left shoulder. You can cross that left hand on top of the right if you're looking to deepen this. And if you're low down, doesn't matter. If you're higher up, doesn't matter, okay? We're just feeling the body, what's going on in your body. Doesn't matter what anyone else can do. We're just breathing into our space. And exhale. Walk those hands back to center, reach forward, reaching towards the top of the mat. Let the gaze fall between the arms. And on your exhale, start to slide yourself back up into a tabletop. From here, we're gonna come down onto our belly. So just sliding yourself down. Awesome. And just bringing the hands at your sides. So having the palms press at the sides of your chest. Just let the forehead come down. And start to inhale, gently lift the chest off the mat, the forehead lifts. So finding a little gentle baby cobra here. We're keeping the feet pinned onto the mat, thighs are touching the mat. Just finding that nice lift in through the thoracic spine. So kind of just below where your bra would sit is where we want to be feeling that nice lift. Exhale, release the forehead down. And inhale, start to lift back up. Finding that nice lift. So pressing the belly, the pelvis into the mat. Exhale, release the forehead. And inhale, lift up one more time, maybe coming a little higher, really lifting from the back. So a wonderful opener for the chest here. Just getting a nice gentle pressure into the belly. And exhale, release forward. You can bring the right ear towards the mat. Release the arms down long at your sides. Let the shoulders round forward. And just letting that go. Bend up through the legs here and just sway them back and forth into a windshield wiper motion. Really nice for the low back. Just letting go of any tension that may have brought up or any tenderness into the low back. Let that go. Release the legs back down. We're going to slide the hands back at our sides. Bring the forehead back to the mat. We're going to slide those hands just underneath the chest. So coming onto our forearms, spreading nice and wide through the hands here. So pressing your forearms and starfishing those hands into the mat. Finding that nice lift up. So you can imagine that you're kind of sliding your body forward and getting a nice opening through the chest here. So coming through our Sphinx pose. So again, we're just finding that nice opening through the chest, spreading through the collarbones, gazes forward, just gazing slightly in front of your mat or ahead of your mat. And thinking about opening that chest, broadening through the collarbones, pressing the pelvis in. So our legs are still into the mat, pelvis is pressing in, pubic bone pressing in, and we're just finding that nice pressure, wonderful way to massage into the internal organs, especially if you have those cramps happening right now. Oh, wonderful pose. And just find a couple more breaths here. Just releasing any pain, any tension, letting go. And find your last breath. And on your exhale, start to release your body forward. Slide those hands back down and bring the left ear onto the mat. Just release. Let the shoulders round forward. You find the bend of the legs and sway them back and forth. Just releasing, letting that tension go. Release the legs, bring the gaze back. We'll just slide the hands back underneath us and we're going to find ourselves to roll onto our back. So just rolling over right onto your back, just setting yourself up to recline all the way down. Let's keep the knees bent right now. Hands can be at your sides. We're just going to draw in the right leg towards the belly, holding onto that leg. You stretch that left leg long. Just find some nice rocks right to left of the hip here. Just letting go, warming into that hip a little bit, getting some nice movement, some blood flow. And from here, let's bend up the left knee. We're gonna cross that right leg over top of the left. So finding a nice cross here. Bring the arms out wide into a T. Palms can face down. We're just gonna allow the hips to fall over towards the left side. So you can adjust the hips as you need here. Wiggle them over a little bit. Gaze can be towards the sky. So finding a nice release here into our back through our spinal twist. If you need to have a little block or anything fall below those knees to support them, if the ground's quite far away, you do that. And keep the gaze up or gaze over that right shoulder. So just allowing a nice massage here into the internal organs. Breathing in and exhaling out anything that's not serving you here. Find one last breath as you allow the chest to open. Shoulder sinks into the mat a little deeper. And on your exhale, bring those knees back up. Readjust, uncross that top leg. Let's hug both knees in towards the belly. Give yourself a hug here. Maybe find a little gentle rock side to side on the low back. And we'll hold in the left knee, stretch that right leg out long. Just find those rocks right to left with that left leg. Just opening up into the hip a little bit here. Getting some more blood flow if we've been sitting, or maybe just being a little bit more relaxed through our cycle. Bring the knee back to center. Bend up that bottom one and we'll cross the left leg on top of the right. So again, adjusting your hips as you need. Bring those arms out into a T and we'll slide the legs and let them fall towards the right. So again, if you need that block, if the ground's too far away, you use a block and just prop it underneath those legs. So opening up through the chest, maybe gazing over that left shoulder, or just looking up, finding that nice opening in through the spine. So not only healthy for your spine to be getting all this wonderful blood flow into it, but also we're getting a really good twist into the hips, the internal organs. So a wonderful way to massage into the organs through the uterus as well. As if we're cramping, it's all a contraction of our uterus. So sending that love into that space. Breathing in, and breathing out anything that's not serving us. Letting it go. Letting go of any negative thoughts, emotions. What can you release here? Finding one last inhale. Melt those shoulders into the mat. And start to bring your legs back up to center. Readjust, unravel the legs, hug the knees in. Give yourself some love, tuck into a ball, big hug here. And release. Release the knees or the feet back down. Keep the knees bent here. And we'll take a final pose into our happy baby. So you can start to lift up the feet off the mat, grabbing onto the back side of the thighs and starting to open up the knees towards the shoulders. So finding some external rotation here as we draw those right knee towards right shoulder, left knee towards left shoulder. So you may just keep the feet relaxed here. Option next is to start to flex through the feet. Imagine that you're pressing the feet on towards the ceiling. So you're trying to push them against the ceiling. Keeping the knees bent, holding onto the back side of the legs, allowing those knees to fall towards the body. So really getting deep into our hips here. So staying here, releasing any tension through our face. If you'd like to take this further, you can always grab onto the outer edge of your feet, drawing them further down, really opening up a little deeper here. So Again, just options. You don't have to be here wherever you're feeling this. It's a very intense pose into the hips. So allow the chest to stay open, letting go of the jaw, letting go of tension. Wonderful stretch into our hips, our groin, especially if you're having cramping in through the legs or the groin. So sending that breath wherever you need it. Maybe finding some rocks back and forth, right to left on the pelvis. And find one more breath. Just letting go. And when you're ready, start to release the feet, the hold of the legs. Bring the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Just resetting, let the pelvis settle for a second here. And when you're ready, gently releasing the legs long, coming into our final Shavasana. So you can stretch out long, hands can be at the sides, palms facing up. Or if the low back's bothersome, you can keep those knees bent, knock the knees together, walk the soles of the feet to the outer edge of the mat. So finding just your space, whatever you need here. Settling into our final resting pose, our Shavasana. So letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. I'd like to invite you to bring your hands onto your belly, your abdomen, one hand or both hands. Just connecting with your womb space, your energy, your sacral power. So just sending some love into the space. We have such busy lives and we're always running around and lacking in that self-care for ourselves. Especially when we have our cycle, this is a time to honor our womanhood, honor our sacral space of how powerful and amazing we are. So sending some loving, healing energy here. Feeling grateful for your body, for what it's doing, how hard it's working, for carrying you through every day, every moment, every emotion. Just honoring that, breathing into that, loving yourself, truly finding gratitude right now in this moment for yourself. Thanking yourself either out loud or just in your mind. Thanking yourself, thanking your body. When you're ready, start to find some gentle movements back into the body, ending through the knees and just rolling over to one side to just a fetal position, and slowly start to press yourself up, coming up to a cross-legged, comfortable, easy pose. Bring the hands into the lap, find a breath in, and an exhale, release the shoulders down the back. Bringing our hands together at heart center, thumb presses gently into the breastbone. Thanking yourself for coming to the mat, even though you might not be feeling your greatest right now. Know that you're doing something so wonderful for breathing and moving your body. Thank you so much for being here on the mat with me. From my heart to yours, namaste. The light within me honors the light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this practice, please be sure to like this video, subscribe down below if you aren't already, comment and let me know if this helped you to feel better in your cycle this month. And of course, follow me over on Instagram if you aren't already, and connect with me there. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.